Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not Afraid to Garden. So I decided today to start off my video right in front of the hydrangeas. Remember the oak leaf hydrangeas? So they are turning pink. So if you get a little closer, you can see the pretty pink on those petals? And look at the size of this and the leaves. So this has grown huge. So the other thing that I want to talk about is actually those yellow black-eyed Susans, and they're all over my flower pot. So let's take a look and I'll show you what that looks like. And again, I find them just on the ground, and I usually just pick them up and just put them in the flower pot. So let's take a look before I get there, guys. Look at my pink fluff. Look how beautiful that is. And again, these are growing all over the garden. So they're actually a nice match to the orange lilies here. So yeah, so that's been in bloom for quite some time now. But let's take a look at the black-eyed Susans here. Look how beautiful. You guys see this? So they're in this flower pot here. Look at this side here. Is that gorgeous? And again, these black-eyed Susans, I only bought one plant many years ago. So now the seed kind of keeps spreading all over the place. So wherever I find it on the ground, I usually just put it in a flower pot or just plant it somewhere along in the corner. So let's take a look and see what one of the orchids bloomed. So let's take a look at it and I'll show you what that looks like. So as I'm making my way, guys, to the orchid gazebo back there, I have more black-eyed Susans, and they're right here. Look at this. Look how beautiful they are. Again, they're blooming in most of the flower beds. And then we have some echinaceas, which are the cone flowers. And they are in bloom now. So I have that one here. And I have the light pinks throughout the garden also. So let's... you guys remember the little birdhouse that I placed in there? It's still there. I have no one in there yet. So I'm assuming that with time, the birds will make their way in there. But let's take a look at some of the orchid that is in bloom. It is a phalaenopsis, and you guys can see, look, it is in bloom. Look how beautiful. So these will be blooming pretty soon. So this one has been the only one that has bloomed so far in here. I am waiting for, again, the vandas. Nothing on the vandas, but you know, the roots look pretty good. The plants look pretty good. So I'm still just waiting on them to continue to grow. And so I had an accident with one of my philodendrons, and this is the gloriosum. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before, but it's snapped in two. So I've got two pieces here. So I planted this maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, but as you guys can see, even though it's snapped, I am getting new growth here. So it's definitely going to make it. So now instead of one plant, I have two. And then this here is the other part of it. And I have growth coming out here. And it looks like something's gonna grow on this side here. So I may get another leaf there. But look at that leaf, guys. Even though, again, it's not gonna this leaf is not gonna hang around too long. It's still there. You know, they're still hanging in there. But look at those. Look at the design on those leaves. So that's what happened with my gloriosum. Yep, there it is. And this is the one I paid $70, guys, and this one. And when I tried to plant it here, again, it snapped, and that was pretty scary, but I managed to plant it in 2 pieces. So I think it's gonna make it. It should be fine. So, and then you have my my philodendrons, and these are my macauleys. And look at the leaves. Look at that beautiful orange color. So I have 2 of these plants, and this plant has 2, and this plant has 2 also in here. But again, look at the color on that. Gorgeous, beautiful. And again, ever since they were placed outside, they are just thriving, loving this place, because again, the sun is not coming in here because of the grapevine that I have here. This is a grapevine, and they are providing that shade. And along the way, you guys see my Spanish moss? Look at this. All the way down, this Spanish moss is loving it in here. So so this is a nice place. Again, this is behind, all the way in the back of my garden. So this is the shady area, and I want to show you also my fern tree. So I put the fern tree outside, and as you guys can see, look how it's growing. So I am making sure that the fronds in here are always kind of wet, moisture, so so that way they don't dry up, and they are loving the shade back here. So it's doing so much better here than where it was. Then I mounted one of the orchids. Look, I'll show you a little bit of how I mounted this orchid, and then I put the Spanish moss around it. But this is being held with wire, as I showed you guys just a little. After this, I'll show you how I mounted this orchid on here. And this is pine. My husband cut a couple of pieces of pine, so I do have a couple of these orchids that I do want to post. I want to mount on there. So this is my first one, and I think they're doing wonderful, and again, they're not going anywhere from there, and the roots are coming in. All right, so after we cut the pieces of the wood back there, actually we did that in the woods, and I'll show you where that was. We're now making holes to be able to put these pieces up on, either on the wall or just mount them, and then holes also to mount the orchids. So I've got all of these already here. That one didn't work out. I got those other ones over there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look how beautiful they're turning out, guys. Again, 2 holes on the top to run the wire to mount them, and the 2 to put the orchids to be able to put them on there. So here she is. I did have her hanging here on this chicken wire with a little bit of moss, and again, she's growing. I'm getting roots and everything with no problem, but I want to try something new here, guys. Okay, so here's a piece of wood. This is pine. So I'm not sure how well that pine is going to really work out, but I'm going to give it a try. I have my Spanish moss here. I'm going to place that back on there, but I'm going to wait until I mount her on there. pieces of the orchid itself, so that way it's holding on a little bit tighter there. And I'm just going to give it a little twist in the back there. So now I'm ready to tie this to anything I want to mount it on, and then here she's already secured, so I can actually I can cut that down later on. So what do you guys think? Really nice. So that was a nice project to work on. So yeah, so I think that is it, guys. That's it for today, and I wanted to make it another short video again, because you know, like, plants have their times also. There's, you know, they flower, they finish flowering, and then they go through the phase and they continue to grow. So I think that's where my garden is right now. It's in that phase where, you know, I get a little color here and there, but pretty much they're going to just continue to evolve. So so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I want to thank my granddaughter Miranda, who's on the opposite side of me videotaping me today. So so I want to thank her for doing that, and thank you for you guys for coming along. So if this is the first time that you're watching my videos, this is all about indoor outdoor plants, and then just having fun with it. So please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.